We're going to have a look at hip internal rotation in the 90-90 position for PAILS and rails. So, for my setup, I have a 90-degree angle at my front knee, at my hip, and also my rear knee. From here, I take my hands behind me and walk back slightly, as well as leaning back as comfortably as possible. From here, I also start to sink my right hip into the ground and twist my upper torso as well. As I do so, you should start to experience a deep stretch within the capsule joint. It is generally quite an uncomfortable feeling as well. So once you've found that stretch, you're going to stay there for 2 minutes. During these 2 minutes, we want to think about diaphragmatic breathing, so 4 seconds in and 8 seconds out. Once we've held here for 2 minutes, the PAILS contraction is going to be to externally rotate this hip. So I want to think about pushing my right knee and my right foot into the ground, but at the same time with more emphasis on pushing the foot into the ground. So I'm rotating into the floor. I can also think about engaging the rear hamstring and glutes to help do that. So I start by taking a deep breath in. I pack that air down. I start to irradiate, so I build tension through my arms. I try to spread the floor apart with my hands, take that tension up into my shoulders, my chest, my back, down into my abdominals, my front leg as well. And I start to build up an isometric contraction with the rear leg, starting at 20%. I slowly build it up to 40%, thinking about pushing into the ground more with the foot as well. 60%, 80, and then my greatest, safest effort. I'm going to hold there for 10 to 15 seconds. Once I've held there for 10 to 15 seconds, my rails contraction is going to be to internally rotate the hip. So I want to think about lifting this foot off the ground as I do so to get that internal rotation effect. So I keep tense and I start to try and lift that foot off. Now if I'm in the right position, my foot shouldn't actually lift off the floor, but the intention there will help. I also want to think about contracting the inside tissues of my thighs, so the adductors. As I do so, I try to hold for 10 to 15 seconds. Once I've held for 10 to 15 seconds, I slowly relax without coming out of the stretch, and I try to sink down with my hip a bit more towards the ground, and also I can rotate my upper torso towards my rear leg. You should start to feel that you've found a deeper passive stretch. So from here you spend 30 seconds, work on your diaphragmatic breathing again, so 4 seconds in, 8 seconds out, before you go into your second round.